We're taking a look at the Zipp Firecrest 404 disc brake wheel set. This wheel set itself is disc brake specific, built from the ground up, and we're going to talk about the features that are in this wheel set, as well as we're going to measure out and weigh the specs that Zipp claims on these. Now, when we take a look at this wheel set, it's pretty neat. So this is a wheel set that was designed specifically for disc brakes. So you'll notice that the rim shape itself, this actually does not have any brake track or anything like that. And that's because without having to use this rim for a rim brake version as well, they're able to optimize the shape and the build of the wheel so that they can optimize aerodynamics and performance using the disc brakes. Now, a couple of things to talk about. This uses Zipp's 77-177 hubs. So that means the 77 front hub and the 177 rear. These are a really nice wheel set. You can actually run 15, 12, or traditional QR in the front, and in the back you can run 9mm or 12 millimeter through axle. Now, like we talked about before, this is a tubeless ready wheel set, meaning that the rim shape itself on the inside is going to be tubeless ready, so all you need to do is run the tape that actually comes stock on these wheels, and then you can set them up tubeless. And Zipp is nice enough to provide a set of valve stems, which are actually quite large. I mean, they're pretty long, and that's just because the 404s are a nice and deep wheel set. Now, the 404s themselves, some of the neat things about them is that they actually have a 250-pound weight limit, so a pretty high weight limit. And then what's also pretty neat is even though you'd never run it that high, you can actually do a tire pressure up to 125 psi. Now, with the wheel set, it's going to be 58 millimeters deep. So that depth of the wheel is actually what's going to allow some of their really, really good aerodynamics. The other thing that's going to help out is something called their aerodynamic boundary layer control. And basically what that is that's the speed dimples that have been sort of a hallmark of a Zipp wheel. Now, those dimples themselves, what they basically help to do is they help to smooth airflow across the rim shape. And by doing that, much in the same way that a golf ball's dimples allow it to fly a little bit straighter, they're going to have a greater control over crosswinds and things like that as you go through. The Firecrest shape itself is also going to help with the crosswinds, and that's a little bit less than, say, like a traditional V. This has a little bit more of a U shape, a little bit wider shape to it as well. Now, these wheels themselves, they're optimized to run a 25 millimeter tire, so some of the wider tires today, this is going to help support quite well. Now that we've taken a look at some of the features of the wheel, let's go ahead and measure out the internal width of the wheel itself, check the depth, and then we'll go ahead and weigh them. Now, the internal width on this wheel set is supposed to come in at 19 millimeters. So I'm going to go ahead and take our little tool here. We'll measure that out. And in our case, it comes out just a little bit wider at 19.23. So a nice healthy width to be able to support those 25 millimeter tires. Now, of course, you can run wider or a little bit narrower if you wanted to, but 25 is what they say they've optimized the wheel set for. Now, let's go ahead and check the depth of the wheel. So this should be 58 centimeters, or 58 millimeters rather. And we're coming out with a little bit of error there, right at 59. So both of those are right on board. Now, the hubs themselves, the hub here, this is the 77, so it's a 6-bolt front hub with sealed cartridge bearings. And then if we take a look at the rear hub here, this is the 177 hub, so it's also going to be a 6-bolt disc. It comes with an 11-speed free hub body out of the box. Of course, you can get both a Campy or an XDR road free hub body as well. Now, 3 pulls, it's going to have a really nice sound. We'll take a listen. So that's a very nice sounding hub, and overall it's a nice shape. Now they use Sapium CX-Ray spokes, so you get a super high quality spoke on this wheel build. And let's go ahead and see exactly what these weigh. We'll take the 404 front wheel here, place it onto our scale, and you'll see the wheel itself comes in at 808 grams, so just a little heavier than the claimed 800 gram weight. And finally, the Zipp 404 rear wheel is placed onto our scale here, and it weighs in at 917 grams. So again, just a touch more than the 915 that's claimed. So thanks for watching this James the Bike Guy and taking a look at the Zipp 404 wheel set. Please be sure to leave a comment down below with what you think about these Zipp 404 wheels. And then of course, click that subscribe button so you can be clued in on new videos like this into the future.